Hey guys, it's Thrift Hunter here. I haven't made a video in a couple weeks, but I've been really busy. Last weekend I tried to go out and my car radiator broke, so I had to get that fixed. That was a nice $400 little repair there. But went out today and yesterday, went to some estate sales. Today was the holiday weekend. I hope everybody had a happy 4th. Not as many sales out, obviously. A lot of people are taking off for vacations and whatnot. So today didn't turn out to be very good, but I did get a couple things at some estate sales that I'm pretty happy about. So I'm going to show you guys what I found, and then probably going to do some tips about jewelry, because I've gotten about 4 or 5 requests, or maybe 3 or 4 requests about basic jewelry stuff, and then I'm hopefully going to get a little bit more in depth on more of what I look for. I'll try and bust out some more examples of the different clasp styles that I look for, and the different design elements that help you identify pieces that are older versus newer. And so we'll do a nice little jewelry segment after I show you guys what I found. Alright, so I'm going to start out with some figurines that I bought. I paid $5 each for these, and a lot of you guys know about these already. These are Yadro, N-A-O, Now by Yadro. Mark right there. I checked them. The big thing with these is condition. I mean, any porcelain, I mean, a single like tiny chip, and it's really just dings the value. But I looked these over, and I don't see anything wrong. You really want to check the tips of the fingers. You want to check the points that stick out like really far. These are worth right around $40, $50 a piece if I want to sell them quickly at auction. They're just going to be a nightmare to ship, but again, they're $40, $50 each, and I paid $5 each. So, and that's at auction. I mean, a lot of people sit on these, and you can get 100 a piece for them, but it's going to take forever to sell. These don't have boxes, but nice subject, retired pieces, I believe. Again, this one's got no chips on the hood, no chips on the fingers. I mean, you can just see when you're trying to package that. I mean, just one little thing and that hand is coming right off. So this one's nice. It's got a little dog and a lady with a basket. So those are my Yadros that I paid $5 a piece for. Good price. That's why I bought them. Let's see. I bought this little thing at an estate sale a couple weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago. This is a Yixing teapot. I don't know a whole lot about these, but I do know some of them can be very expensive. This one, I would guess, is newer. It's a smaller size, but some of these are really nicely carved. This one's got a little like foo dog or lion or whatever you want to call it on there. Some of the older ones, again, like some of them are big and they're carved and all done. And the thing about the Yixing teapots and why they kind of bring so much money is they're really prone to drying out and cracking. So basically one of the best ways to keep them from cracking is to put tea in them. So some of the older ones have to have had tea put in them, every once in a while to rehydrate the clay. So some of these are done by master calligraphers and that sort of stuff, and they can be worth a lot of money. But this one's probably from the 80s or 90s, probably a tourist piece. I gave like $6 for it. It's a good deal still. Should be 15, 20 bucks. See, at same estate sale, I bought this little perfume. If you see in the bathrooms or whatever, these kind of perfumes, a lot of these are really collectible, especially like Lalique or Swarovski or something like that. I don't know, but some of these perfumes can be worth a lot of money. This one I paid, as $6 for too. Mostly because of the stopper. It's a nice ground stopper. You always look for the stoppers to be ground to fit. The inside of this is ground too, but I'm like 50% not sure that this is not the original stopper to this piece, because they had a couple other perfumes that were glass. So, but even just that stopper, I mean, it's a pretty good looking stopper. Nice art glass piece. So, not sure what that's worth, but Let's see, moving on. I got this nice sterling weighted compote, cement filled, smart sterling on the bottom. Got this at an estate sale yesterday, and it's pretty funny because this was in a case. Other people were there, they were looking at the stuff, and no one even wanted to ask how much for, the silver, because it's obviously silver. I mean, I could pretty much tell, they got in a case, it's sterling. No one asked how much. That was the first thing I asked. I was like, how much for the sterling, just to get their prices. And they said 20 bucks, so, or I think they said 25, and I asked 20, and I got it for 20 anyway. That's a good $40 in sterling. You can't go wrong, and it's a really nice piece. I'll probably polish it up. There's actually not very many dents at all, so clean that up, get 40 bucks, no problem. Today also, again, it was slow, but I picked up this little Waterford little sauce dish or something. Just $1, good condition. It's not a Marquise, it's a regular Waterford, so it's a little bit nicer. They didn't have the set, but for $1, I'll put it with the rest of my Waterford. Do something with it, Pretty nice. So now I'll move on to the jewelry finds, get a close-up of those, and then I'll start showing you guys some tips and talking about what I bought. Alright guys, so here's my jewelry finds here. Pretty slim pickings. I normally like to have a lot more than that, but get what you can. Let's see, first I guess I'll start right here. These were marked, or these were in a bin, and it says $14 right there. I mean, you can read that. So I asked how much, just to see, how much were they asking for it. It's got a price on it. Maybe I can still get it cheap. She said 50 cents. So those are 925 and amber. I don't know. Maybe I'll get 14 bucks for them. Probably not, but 50 cents was a good deal. Let's see. Some costume junk. This was just some junk that I bought together that was junk. These were little sterling earrings. I paid 50 cents for those. Marked sterling on the back, little cat's eye stones, little filigree deal there. We'll talk about these chains. I mean, I find these chains so much. You look for these box chains, is what this is called. Look for these silver box chains, and this specifically this tag here. Let's see if I can get you closer on it. There we go. That's the one. This kind of double looped tag there is almost always Italy and 925, and it's also marked on the spring ring 925. But that style, that box link and that tag, you look for those tags, and I don't even check them anymore. You see that tag, and it's almost always silver because it's mass produced in Italy. So look for those little tags there. That was $1, and it's about $2.50 in scrap. So good deal. I bought this ring. Turned out it's just brass, but look at that color. Look at the denting on it. It's misshapen. The stones have open backs. It's all nicely cut away. The weight's right. That pingy sound is right. I figured it was either brass or gold. Anyway, it was 50 cents. But that's the color. Gold, weathered gold looks just like weathered brass. I mean, that's the color of gold. So I took a chance on it, and it didn't pay off. But for 50 cents, I'm not really going to lose. But I kind of want to go over the difference between this, which is another fake chain with the interesting clasp. It was broken, so I took a chance on it. But let's look at the color difference. And this is what people mean by the color of gold. Okay, see, this is plated, and this is what the color of gold looks like. This is brass, but it really helps show the difference. So you can see this chain is actually real gold here. And so look at the color difference between the brass, the gold, and the plated item. You can see obviously that this, or hopefully my camera will pick it up, that the plated item is much brighter yellow. It looks like it screams out it's gold, like more, the shinier and more yellow is, this would have to be like 20 karat gold for this to be real. I mean, that color is just way too bright. But you see this nice soft 14 karat here, is a softer color. But look at the difference between the brass and the gold. You almost can't tell the difference. They're both a soft yellow color. So sometimes old rings without any markings, if they look like kind of like this worn brass color, it's worth taking a chance on it, because that's what you're looking for. So that's junk. Same style almost. This one's junk and this one's gold. So the brighter is not better. So I'll show you the gold in a second. But I got this nice little sterling, fairly heavy piece. It's marked on the back of this little heart here, 925. But very heavy, nice braided chains there. I paid 50 cents for this as well. I bought these with those amber earrings for 50 cents. So a nice heart design, nice silver piece. This one's just an odd one. You wouldn't really pick this out of a pile unless you're checking everything. So pays to know the color. I mean, it's all tarnished and everything, and it's it's got that right feel to it. So I got this little barrel clasp necklace, and these are a little bit harder to tell because not all of them are silver. A lot of them are silver plate and a lot of them are silver. It's a cheap way to make a silver necklace because of the hollow beads there. But why do I know that this one's silver versus another one? Well, mostly it's the construction. I mean, look at how nicely these gemstones are made. They're spacer beads. Very nice polished gemstones, right? It's not some junky thing where there's a ton of broken pieces or tarnished, and it's not cheap stones that are all put together weird. I mean, this is a nice, pretty nice, probably homemade piece, but you can see the nice gemstones. It's going to be silver. It's just got a better chance of being silver, let's put it that way. So that one was 50 cents or something like that as well. There's more of the junk. Let's see. Yeah, I bought this for 50 cents hoping it was gold because it's got this weird clasp on it, but it turned out not to be gold. Tested that. How do I do that? I test that with acid, just a little drop. I also, actually, let's see, I'll show you where I tested it. Right there. I took my knife and scratched it to see if there was any color change. Why? Because it's already broken. It's going to be scrap. I can't, do anything with it. Took my knife out, scratched it, put it to a magnet. Gold's not magnetic. It didn't change color, so I figured, all right, cool, I'll test it when I get home. Put the acid right on that scratch, and it's no good. So, you can always hope, right? So, moving on, I got this bracelet here. It's pearl and gold beads there. This was like 50 cents as well, and you can see it's got also, again, these weird clasps. That's where you get the gold. These nice eye loop clasps. They're not junky, weird rope clasps, or I don't know, just spring rings or cheap lobster clasps. These are nice little loops there. All marked Mexico 14K on this one. This is a pretty cheaply made bracelet. It's just on nylon strings, some plastic pearls, and some stretchy cord end bits there, but 14 karat gold, 50 cents. That might be $10 in gold right there. So the best find was probably this one here. This nice 14 karat gold. I already told you guys that, but it's got this pretty nice 10 karat gold heart pendant on it. I gave $40 for this at an estate sale. And you would think, somebody who runs an estate sale, they gotta know gold and jewelry. I mean, I would just think so. Some guy was asking any gold, anything. They're like, no, and I pulled this right off of a jewelry tree, and I was like, how much is this one? She got her glasses looked at. She goes, this is 14 karat gold, and I want $45 for it. I'm like, when I heard $45, I got excited because this thing's pretty thick and it's pretty heavy, and just that pendant's really nice. So I was like, 45 bucks, sweet. I said, would you take 40? She said, sure. So I took it for 40, and how do I know? How can I just tell because of the weight? Okay. A gram is about the weight of a paper clip, more or less. And this is, so gold is about $30 a gram, let's say, just on average, $30 a gram. That means it needs to be 1.5 grams for me to make money. 1.5 paper clips in weight. So I could almost give this to anyone. I gave this to my sister. Said, how much do you think this weighs? Like, does that feel like one paper clip to you? She says, no, it feels like maybe 5 paper clips. And I said, exactly. And that's why I bought it. So I took it home, weighed it, and it weighs 5.2 grams altogether. This is like 1.8 and this is 3.8, something like that. That doesn't work out to 5 grams, but 1.2 and 3.8. Let's go with that. It's a little over 5 grams. So that puts this right at about $120 in scrap. So I turned 40 into 120. It's a lot to pay, but if you know what you're doing, and this is an occasion where if I would have busted out a scale, that would have ruined the deal. She would have, seen how much it weighed and been like, all right, never mind. But instead, I just felt the weight in my hand, used my experience, knew it was worth the $40, and let's see if I can get close up of the lobster clasp there. There's your lobster clasp that you're looking for. It's all hallmarked. Let's see if I can get a shot of the 14K before my time runs out here on my camera. Marked 14K right there, and it's marked 14K in that lobster clasp. You look for these lobster clasps. This is another thing you look for, is these nice end bits and the nice lobster clasp. This is marked on the back of that pendant right there, 10K. So really nice. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show a couple more little examples here. Here's a beaded chain here, or not a beaded chain, just a regular chain. But anyway, you look at this little fish eye clasp right here. These are the ones that you do not want to see. These are the ones that are almost always made in China or Taiwan or wherever. They're just a single fish eye and a spring ring. That's all they are. They're very plain. This one's got a hang tag for Premier Designs, but it's just a spring ring and that little fish eye loop. Those are the ones you don't want to see. Those are the ones that are almost never silver, but sometimes there's silver pendants on fake chains, and sometimes there's silver chains with fake pendants. So you look at both. Something like this, you would look to see if it was marked. This one's not marked, but it is sterling. Let's see. Here's a bead one. This is kind of more of what I'm talking about. It's a little cross, and it's got rhinestones. And what do you look for the difference on these? Well, see, look at the back. There's no holes. So these are not most well-made ones are going to have holes in the back. So you can tell that they're rhinestones. They're simply soldered together or whatever. And then you look on the back of the pendant loop, see if there's any marks. This one does not have any. Then you can see it's just got this plain lobster clasp. Most of these aren't this style of lobster clasp. Are normally not good, but I'm going to show you an example of some that are silver. But a lot of the times these ones are not silver in general as well. They're cheap, and they make a lot of this exact style. They're big, they're bulky, they just don't look silver. But here's the difference between like both rhinestone pieces. This one's got no holes on the back, and this one has a bunch of them. Those are like C's, these are rhinestones, whatever you want to call them. So this one is silver, and it's marked right there. But you can see all the little holes in the back. That's to allow the light to shine through. And this one's on a nice little chain here. Let's see. This one's not marked actually, so this is actually a junk chain, I believe. This one's got no tag, just a spring ring. Just a spring ring. You want to look for markings. Some of them are marked West Germany, some of them are marked Czech, some of them are marked 925, 585. The ones with just the spring ring, you're gonna have to check to see if there's any writing on it. Here's a little cord piece with sterling, but it's got this fancy little tag on it. So you see these tags. A lot of times on silver and gold, you see these kind of fancier tags where they can get all their hallmarks on there real clear because, spent a lot of money to make it and took a lot of time probably, and they want to make sure that they got a nice platform for their stamp. This one's got a little 925 bead, obviously marked. So you look for that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be, it can be on leather cords and whatever. Here's another thing that I look for is these extensions. I do not like seeing these extensions. Almost every silver and gold, silver and gold is precious metals. They don't waste it. They don't give you just an extension. You got to buy your size. There are a couple Tiffany pieces and things that do come with extensions, but you have to buy them extra. So I normally do not like these extensions, especially with this plain lobster clasp again, and an extender. You don't like to see those. Here's another example of that little eye loop. The one that you don't want to see, that one's junk. But here is one where it's just a plain lobster clasp, only it's marked. The only place it's marked is it's right there on the, I guess the little lobster claw part right there. 925, that's the only place it's marked, so you have to check that one. But you can see from the color on this one and the fact that it's got all 925 chains on it or charms on it helps. These are all marked 925, but it helps to look for the color. You know, these links are all nicely soldered. There's no cheap pieces on here, but this one's only marked on the clasp, which is actually pretty uncommon, where you just see it only marked there. So there's just a couple examples, and then I talked about the gold a little bit. I'll try and do some more tips. Keep asking questions, and I'll try and answer them. So there's the jewelry and my finds for this weekend. So thanks for watching.